You remember that creature we talked about before you went to Nira? The thing that eats terramorphs, the Asylees? Apparently, they were bloodhounds for terramorphs. But when the UC ran low on synthetic foods during the Colony War, the Asylees were chosen to fill in the gaps.
We thought they were harvested to extinction. But in the data, the research team found the location of a few remaining specimens. As you can see, what we're proposing is bringing them back. We'd breed populations of them, distribute them to human worlds, and then let nature take its course, using a method that thousands of years of adaptation have already perfected. We could speed up their breeding process using some of the same technologies that were used to create me. We even think that with some time and investigation, we could use the Asylees' hunting skills to track down the terramorph transmission method at long last. Find out how humanity spread them and put an end to the terramorph problem definitively. If you pick a fight with one, or you're a terramorph, sure. But Asylees were already spread across the galaxy once before during the Colony War. As livestock.
They're far less of a danger than the one we're proposing to clean up.
Well, there is another option. It'd be faster, maybe even more effective. But it's got its own risks. A microbe. Something we could aerosolize, let spread, and have it clean up anything with terramorph DNA for us, which would include morphs, and we expect their transmission method. It'd still take time to build, test, and distribute, but no other method could hold a candle to it when it comes to sheer efficiency. Not even the Asylees.
Percival assures me that they're minimal. He'll be able to encode safeguards against mutation in the agent's genetics, so that they stick to the task of cleaning up terramorphs. But the microscopic world has a tendency to behave in ways you can't always predict. So, to say that... Well, that's still not 100%. But it sounds like the Vanguard will actually be picking up. But there's no sense in hammering down those sorts of details before we've made a decision on which route we're taking.
Well, so that's tricky.
Both plans are going to take major investments in time and resources. We're talking years of work, not to mention some highly specialized materials.
Terramorph cell lines we can breed quickly and consistently to test on. Asylees' gene samples we can use to rebuild their bloodlines. Or sharpen our microbes' tracking skills. Not the sort of things any labs just got lying around.
But we think we found a lead. One place in the known galaxy where we know we should be able to find all the materials we need. All paths lead to Londinian. It's certainly not encouraged, but the UC's given their sign-off for this excursion. This trip is all above board. It's dangerous, yes. But Kaiser, Percival, and we've trained for this. And you're not so green yourself. And the last thing I want right now is for the UC to stick us with some gung-ho jarhead who's gonna put us and the mission at risk. Captain, you're the reason we're all here right now. You're the person I think can help us finish it. Will you join us on this? It was the central hub for Asylees processing during the Colony War. But, and this part's exciting, the terramorph data suggests Aseles were first found there. The planet it's on, Toliman 2, was their homeworld. Meaning, there's a very good chance their prey, the terramorphs, came from that same world. Which would also explain why no one ever suspected that planet as the terramorph source world. The Aseles were too damn effective at cleaning them up. Additionally, it explains why once the Aseles were gone, the outbreak there was so catastrophic. Londinian could very well be where the terramorph saga began. And the key to its end. It was the central hub for Aseles processing during the... But, and this part's exciting, the terramorph data suggests Aseles were first found there. The planet it's on, Toliman 2, was their homeworld. Meaning, there's a very good chance their prey, the terramorphs, came from that same... Which would also explain why no one ever suspected that planet as the terramorph source world. The Aseles were too damn effective. Additionally, it explains why once the Aseles were gone, the outbreak there was... Londinian could very well be where the terramorph saga began. Exactly what I was hoping to hear. Now, the UC has a small operating base on Londinian's outskirts. We're cleared for access, but we'll need to check in with the base commander, Sarah Hatum. I'm gonna help Percival and Kaiser prep, but once that's done, we'll rendezvous with you there.
But you need to know, Londinian? It belongs to the terramorphs.
They'll have anti-Xeno gear for us at the base, but I'd make sure you've got your favorite arms on hand.
I sincerely hope there is adequate security for this facility.
Oh, this goddamn planet. You romanticize a place when you're away from it for long enough, but I forgot what a dust-crusted pit Mars can be. Now you, what do you need? Oh, that's you then. I was informed we might be working together. Don't much care for Vanguard. It sounds like you two really got into the thick of it back in New Atlantis. My sister's kids live in the city, so, thank you for what you did there. Of course. Consider yourself verified. defeat a
hope that we
small
have not
planet with the
ultimately
amount of
made a
fruit this
mistake
place goes
resurrecting
through.
this place.
Now, what can I do for you? If anyone can pull off something as downright lunatic as that, and I'll make sure they've got all the supplies they might need to make it a reality. That's correct. Ran logistics for the Devils for years before getting the assignment here. Military logistics isn't usually thrilling work, but as bone-crushingly exhausting as this job could be, it sure as hell was never dull. Coordinating habitats for nightmares from the far side of Lantana 8B and their favorite breathing snack foods? Sure, why not? Stocking the UC for a rancher who's got 2,000 grade A kilos of biomass he can ship to Mars per week? We call days like that Tuesday. So when I heard things might be opening up again, I put in... Don't worry, I'll handle the paperwork. Can't do the job without the... No more reliable.
Off.
Attention vessel, you have entered restricted space. Please respond. This world is off limits. You are advised to jump to safe harbor immediately. collection team, aren't you? Fine. We'll send word you're on your way down.
Good to see you. People are saying...
Heard you're going out there willingly. Don't go into the city much, and never for long. Give him one for me, all right?
Inside the barriers, double time!
I have heard of London here. Anyone who has spent time in United Colonies space has, of course. Now I understand why the stories persist.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply in the... Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were a... eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task. Ah, then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Commander Hatum,
No need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinian is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinan's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other? The initial Terramorph outbreak that overran Londinian during the tail end of the colony war came as a complete shock. Waves of the creatures appeared out of nowhere, and the city was quickly overwhelmed. There were some attempts at evacuation. He ordered the spaceport, halting the spread of the outbreak, but leaving large... And the intervening 20 years have only made Londinian more hostile, not less. So my people will not be coming for you out there. Understood? I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. And I do believe there's someone waiting for you there. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our fields, though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates.
Pinpoint's a bit strong.
The equipment will be able to get us a rough location of any acceptable samples in the scan area. It'll be up to you, Kaiser, and I to find the things. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city. All set on your gear? We're ready when you are. Yeah, just pre-mission jitters. You hear about a place for so long, it maybe gets bigger and but you don't need to worry about me. I'll be all right. We're ready when you are.
Transfer complete. Those codes are systems should shut themselves back down.
What is it?
Yes? You match our description. The Vanguard captain? The cabinet wanted you to have something. Make sure you had the best tools for the task.
can't chat right now. Say the word, and we shall be on our way. device while you're out there. Don't trust me.
advice while you're out there.
Everything seems to be where we left it.
This all feels like...
Advised to leave this orbit immediately. The Critical mission. Fine. We'll send word you're...
The majority of citizens here in New Atlantis count on Relay. Welcome to Relay. Well, you've certainly come to the right... So, what brings you? My goodness, you're in quite a state. Let's get these wounds. Just relax. Good as new. Well, of course, New Atlantis is a big place. Lots of people, but we're well staffed and do our best to accommodate anyone who needs help. Well, everyone knows Reliant, largest medical provider in the settled systems. They've spent decades advancing medical science with their research division, and have built an entire supply network to keep us all healthy. They've always been quite proud to work here.
May you remain in good health.
Such beauty in the midst of nothingness.
Then let's get this show on the road. Kaiser? Everything green on your ends?
I am ready. Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Roger, loud and clear.
Perhaps too loud. Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
All right. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
That creature. It's dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its sway. Let's put it down.
Just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
Did you need something?
It's here! It's here! Hide!
Oh God! Here they come!
More than that.
It's got me!
Taking damage.
I cannot wait.
Save, save, save. Never safe. Never safe.
Damaged.
You cannot beat me. Cancel.
Is that for selling later or personal use?
samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the Not
everything in the
that's
galaxy
right.
needs to come with us.
Kaiser, how did you know that?
I'm not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
You got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. Real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm? What's that? My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Captain, have you seen this? The heat leeches are terramorphs.
But heat leeches infest every settlement, every corner of the settled systems. That means that every single one... Oh no.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every... Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, We just found out how terramorphs... That I don't have an answer for right now. But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches and terramorphs. The Asylees, we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for... I am sincerely inclined to agree, but current evidence suggests nature manages it just fine. The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches into a place. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have... Me neither. You'd have to know this all exists, first and foremost.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
Can't believe what we just witnessed. Stay sharp.
This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant and realized the ends it could be put to.
I wonder where they could have gotten such an idea. Deploying alien...
I wouldn't be shocked to find out our team, in part, inspired the approach. But our group makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, and the timing of that one. It couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the Terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. They certainly were. But having this... Who could pull something like this?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's... If we're gonna do anything to prevent more Terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser?
The entrance is this.
And when I see it with my own eyes, it is still hard to believe.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And do that.
advanced.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. They'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk.
Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we bring with us and what we leave behind. Or sell. Or throw away, even.
Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he? He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was
That is a disgusting way to describe what happened here. Someone who truly knows what it means to command, to be in charge of and responsible for others would never...
He decided to sentence his own soldiers to death. What kind of commander is that? But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was protecting us all, taking the secret. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant, and that's exactly right. Let's move. Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled. Most people probably wouldn't use that power responsibly.
I'm glad it is in your hands.
Kaiser and we're done.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Are such a gift. Though your enemies might disagree.
Must have been something damn important you were hunting for out there.
frantic on the comms towards the end there, but it sounded like the... Hey, was worried about that myself, though I know I wasn't nearly as much at risk of limb loss as you all. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Faye Victus knew about this dam?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. That's putting it lightly.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what ends it could be put towards. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning them. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the...
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime.
Thank you, Captain. Once you've finished your investigation, they're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might...
Yes? That was quite a leap.
Your clothes clean, your boots polished, your mirror shine.
Welcome back.
Yes, my captain. Welcome to Reliant Medical. If you're injured or sick, welcome to Reliant.
How can I help? My goodness. All right, Bill. Just relax. There you are, all right? All right, what? Oh my, it's a good thing. I'll be here if you do it. Well, you've certainly come to the right place.
May you remain in good health.
Perhaps not the wisest decision.
By the way, Captain. Sergeant.
Greetings, citizen. Welcome to UC.
Brent has to stay here.
Well, when I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, did you find what you were looking for? I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti. New Atlantis. My doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble? Not a bad thought. But no. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, there are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. Something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While of course they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The Cabinet does have access. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result. And none of it would have happened without my intervention. Precisely. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlez's role in the attacks to the cabinet. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlez and Orlez. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. Splendid. Then I won't keep you. You've got important work, after all.
Hello. I shall do as you... Hello. I have sharpened the blade.
Perfect timing. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are...
Means either plan should work for clearing those...
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attack?
Orlez? Reginald Orlez? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive.
If he is responsible, let us hope the cabinet deals with it swiftly and...
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? I'm sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions. Any idea why he might have done it? I can't imagine the amount of work it took to deploy the Lazarus plant off-world. Strange to go to all that trouble and not state your reasons.
Well, the man knew how to hold a grudge. I wouldn't be shocked if this was him getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
I guess. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk. Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides... But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC... Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with no... Then here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence. Is what I'm reading here...
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorph?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did...
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinian.
Reginald Orlays? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission, and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlays... Well, it appears this report contains definitive evidence Orlays triggered the attacks via this...
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UCs, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring you have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters with the threads you've brought together here. The Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches. The three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can... As such, the cabinet will be securing them.
A sound decision, Madam President.
I'm glad you think. So then, the cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand the project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Asylees are the...
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to...
And fast results always lead to the best out.
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but only the captain.
I see. Captain, I know this may not...
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into
The first step in a bold new future.
Bolder, better, and brighter.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker.
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial. And I'm told the penthouse is... You all have earned. Now, there's much... Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named. On behalf of the whole of the United Colony, this meeting is adjourned.
You don't need to wear your helmet in here.
Is something amiss? I do appreciate that not every meter of land was plowed under to build this city. This tree is far too grand for such a fate.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud. No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get... There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Suppose that's true. Just getting those coordinates to you now. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colonies craft. You're cleared to use lethal force if necessary. Attackers were ecliptic affiliated, so I bust out the big guns. Fly smart out there.
Oh, we can pause for a moment. I do appreciate that not every meter of land was plowed under to build this city. This tree is far too grand for such a thing.
Never a better time than right now to settle down and make New Atlantis home. If you're a citizen, of course. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's new... In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the... It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis.
What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments. Okay, you're all set. Your new home... You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous... Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you...